Assalamu alaikum students. We have started in previous lecture. We had discussed the passage of molecule in the cell, in and out of the body of the cell. This is also the part of this lecture. In the previous lecture we had discussed about the diffusion and facilitated diffusion. Now we will discuss osmosis. Osmosis is the process of only water molecules. It is the movement of water molecules. Because we know that in the body of the cell many materials can enter in the body. Some can be solid, some can be liquid, and some can be in the gaseous form. But when we talk about osmosis, only it is the movement of water molecules. Only water molecules can enter in the body of the cell. So this is called osmosis, and it is also referred by a process which is called tonicity. Tonicity. It means, this is very important, tonicity. Tonicity means the environment. Okay, when water molecules enter in the body of the cell, then they make three different types of environment, and the environments are isotonic, hypotonic, and hypertonic. So these three environments are made by in tonicity. These three are isotonic. So what is the meaning of iso? Iso means same, and tonic means concentration. So same like this. Hypo means less, and tonic means again concentration. And hypertonic means increase, and tonic means concentration. So first of all, the meaning of these three environments are clear to you. Isotonic means same concentration, means same environment. Hypertonic means less concentration, means less concentration. Hyper means increased concentration. Now question is that which thing will be increased and which thing will be less, because we are talking about water molecules, and all water solutions are made by two things: solute and solvent. Water molecules consist of two parts, solute and solvent. So solute can be any solid part, any solid material, and solvent can be a solution. It will be a solution. So this is clear to you. Okay, all water movements are happened in the solution. Solution is made by two things, solute and solvent. Solute means any solid material, and solvent means a solution. So when we talk about the isotonic environment means equal amount of solute and solvent. Means in this environment, solvent and solute, they both are in equal quantity. When we talk about hypotonic environment, it means it has less solute but more solvent. And when we see hypertonic means more solute and less solvent. So first of all, we have keep in mind the environment. It is made by in tonicity, because we can discuss water molecules with the environment, and environment is made by solute and solvent, and this whole process is called tonicity. And in tonicity, in the cell, three environments are produced: isotonic, hypertonic and hypertonic. Isotonic means same, hypo means less concentration, hypertonic means increased concentration. Now we will discuss these environments according to animal cell and according to plant cell, and this topic is also given in your book as water balance problems. Okay, so first we will discuss about the animal cell. In animal cell, if there is a isotonic environment, what will be happen? Definitely if we take an example of the body of the cell, we say this is a cell wall and this is a cell membrane, cell wall, and this is a cell membrane, and this is a nucleus of the cell. So what will be happen in isotonic environment? Equal amount of solute and solvent. So the pressure of the solute and solvent is equal to the pressure of the solute and solvent which is the outside of the body of the cell. So in this position the cell will be remains in a normal position. It will be remain in a normal position. And when this situation is happened in hypotonic solution, hypotonic solution means it has less solute and more solvent. Less solute, and it means it has less substances, and more solvent means it has more water molecules in them. So when water molecules will be entered in the body of the cell, the nucleus of the cell will be turgid. What will be become sterile? It contains a lot of pressure in them, and because of that it can be swollen. ये क्या हो जाएगा? फूल जाएगा. What will be happen? It will be swollen. It will be swollen, and because of that it can be the cell. This is the nucleus. So because of that, in this state cell can be burst. Cell can be burst और ruptured. तो इस स्टेज में क्या होगा कि सेल जो है वो ड्यू टू अ लॉट ऑफ वाटर मॉलिक्यूल्स कैन बी रप्चर्ड. बैलून की तरह इट विल बी स्वॉलन एंड देन इट कैन बी रप्चर्ड, इट कैन बी बर्स्ट. बट व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट हाइपरटोनिक सॉल्यूशन, हाइपरटोनिक सॉल्यूशन मीन्स कि देयर इज more solute and less solvent. It has more solute and less solvent. So what will be happen? The body of the cell, we can see this is the shape of the cell and this is the nucleus, and we all of know it has a cytoplasm all around it. So due to that, this environment, this cytoplasm will be shrinked. ये cytoplasm जो होगा वो क्या हो जाएगा? Shrink हो जाएगा. It will be like this. Cytoplasm, and what will be happen? It will be shrink. So these three conditions will be produced in the tonicity when we talk about animal cell. If we take an example of red blood cell, if we put them into a isotonic solution, because the environment is same, solute, the quantity of solute and solvent is equal, so due to that cell will be in the normal position. If hypotonic environment is produced, there is less solute and more solvent, so due to more solvent the nucleus of the cell and the body of the cell will be swollen like a ball, and due to that it can be burst and it can be ruptured. And when we talk about hypertonic solution, hypertonic solution have more solute and less solvent, so because of that the cytoplasm of the cell will be shrink. So these three conditions will be produced in animal cell. Now these three conditions will be discussed with plant cell. In plant cell, definitely what will be happened in the plant cell when there is a now we will discuss about the plant cell. When we put plant cell into a isotonic solution, definitely the body of the cell will be same. And it will not be ruptured, it will be in a normal position. And when we put them into a hypertonic solution, it means it has less solute and more solvent. So it is an environment more solvent, it is an environment of oceans. What is happened in the oceans? It is an environment of oceans. We all of know in oceans there is a large quantity of salt and there is a less amount of water in them. So hypertonic solution, when we put animal cell into a isotonic solution, what will be happened? Definitely due to more solvent, it will be swollen. It get and turgor pressure will be produced. Turgor pressure will be produced because in the body of the cell there is the concentration of water molecule is much more, and the outside of the body cell there is a more concentration of water. So due to that, all pressure will be exist on cell membrane, all pressure will be exist on the cell membrane. So the pressure which exists on the cell membrane due to the pressure of the water molecules in and out of the body, that is called turgor pressure, and the process is called turgidity. Then when we put plant cell in a hypertonic solution, so what will be happen? What is the condition of hypertonic solution? More solute and less solvent. So more solute, this is not ocean, this is a river environment, and this is a more solute, means this is an ocean environment. So when we put a plant cell in an ocean environment, what will be happen? Definitely a plant cannot get more water molecule. So due to that, its cytoplasm will be shrink. This is a vacuole, this is a nucleus, and the cytoplasm will be shrink. Cytoplasm of the body of the cell will be shrink. The body of the cytoplasm will be shrink, and the shrinking of cytoplasm is called plasmolysis. Shrinking of cytoplasm is called plasmolysis. I hope you understand the tonicity concept. We have discussed tonicity concept with two different things. First we discuss animal cell, then we discuss plant cell. So in isotonic solution it becomes flaccid, means ke normal. In this situation it can be burst, ruptured, and in this situation the cytoplasm will be shrink, and this process, the shrinking of cytoplasm, is called plasmolysis. Now we discuss about the osmosis and guard cells. Okay, what is the role of osmosis with guard cells? Its answer is very simple. We all know we all have stomata in their body, and stomata osmosis and guard cells. And we all of know that guard cells and osmosis. Okay, all leaves have stomata on their surface. So this is a part of the leaf and they all have stomata. These are small pores on the surface of the leaf and these are help the leaves to gaseous exchange in and out. These are called stomata. These all stomata are protected by guard cells. They are like bean-shaped structure. These are called guard cells. So these all stomata are covered by guard cells. These guard cells work as a door of the stomata. So they do in the when there is a water movements in the body of the cell. In plant cells, so what is happening at that time? Stomata work and the function of the guard cell becomes very important. This function depends on two types: nighttime and daytime. So first, when we discuss about the daytime, at daytime what is happened? At daytime we all of know all plants do the photosynthesis. So due to that they absorb oxygen from the environment and they do the photosynthesis and make the chlorophyll for the body of the plant, and because of that at that time the guard cells are opened. Guard cells are open at daytime. Why they are open? Because they are help in gaseous exchange. What do? They help in gaseous exchange. So at that time the plants is getting more and more, absorbing more and more carbon dioxide and it is releasing more and more oxygen in the environment. That's why we said कि we have to plant it more and more tree because they clean the pollution, they clean the air, and we all breathe in the air, so we need a neat clean air. So at daytime they do the photosynthesis, guard cells are open and they help in gaseous exchange. But when there is a night, we all of know there is no sunlight, there is no photosynthesis, so the guard cells began to close. Guard cells are closed. But in the body of the plant, function does not stop. At that time the body of the plant, the all water molecules which are producing in the body of the plant, they are collected and they maintain pressure at the guard cell. So at that time the leaf separate water and salts from the body of the plant. So the process at which water and salts are separated, this process is called reverse osmosis. Water and salts are separated. This process is called reverse osmosis. So this is very important, reverse osmosis, and water and salts, and this whole process is happen at night time. At night time the guard cells are closed and they maintain the pressure in the body of the plant, and the guard cells separate water and salt, and this process is called reverse osmosis. So this is very clear. At daytime, guard cells, stomata are open at daytime because they have to exchange gases in and out, but at night time they are closed because there is no sunlight, there is no photosynthesis, so they do the water movements in the body of the plant. And when early in the morning, when the stomata are open, due to that at that time plants excrete their waste material and also produce dew drops on the surface of the leaf. Now next part is that applications to knowledge. Applications to knowledge, this is our next topic in which I will explain you applications to knowledge. This is very simple. Its answer is that all cells have a cell wall, all cells have cell membrane, and cell membrane are also called a semi-permeable membrane. Why it is called a semi-permeable membrane? Because it has very important word, because it differentiates between viruses and bacteria. In ancient times, it was considered that cell membrane is a part of the cell and its important function is that it can separate viruses and bacteria. But now it is also called semi because it is allow only selected materials to enter into the cell and it does not allow every material to enter into the. So that's why it is called a cell membrane, or another word is semi-permeable membrane. Then there is a filtration. What is a filtration? Filtration is a very simple word. We all of know the part, the substances, the materials which is necessary for the body of the cell and which are not important for the body of the cell, that is filtrate in this process. The substances which is important for the body of the cell, they goes inside the body of the cell, and which is not important, they come out of the body of the cell. So it is a process. This force can apply by water and by blood. So how this force is applied? How can we do the filtration? We can do filtration by blood and by water. So due to that, in humans, blood pressure is produced. Blood pressure is produced. What is blood pressure? We all of know blood pressure is a common problem nowadays in the world. In blood pressure, the ratio of water and salts increase in the body, and due to that the pressure of the blood is increased. So the filtration is happened in the body of the cell due to filtrate, and filtrate is happened due to the, and it needs a force, and this force is applied by blood and it can be applied by water. Then the last passage of the molecule, the last process is exocytosis and endocytosis. First we discuss about exocytosis and endocytosis. Exocytosis means, exo means out and cytosis means cells, means some materials which can out from the body of the cell. That process is called exocytosis. For example, if we see the it is a structure of a cell, and we see this is called a cell membrane, and in the center there is a nucleus. So there are some materials, for example, there are some materials which are not important for the body, or they are out from the body of the cell. So how they are? At that time when these materials are out from the body of the cell, at that time the cell membrane invaginate outwards, invaginate outward, it make layers and invaginate. Invaginate means folding, invaginate it make foldings, and then that materials come out of the body of the cell. So this process is called exocytosis. Exocytosis. And endocytosis is the opposite of this process. Endocytosis. Again, the meaning of endo means in, and cytosis means cell. So the materials which can enter in the body of the cell, so that process is called endocytosis. In this process also there is a cell membrane. This is a nucleus. So which materials are good for the body of the plant? So at that time again cell wall is invaginate, and it will invaginate inward side, and the materials will enter in the body of the cell. Invaginate inward, and the materials can enter in the body of the cell. In this process it will invaginate outward. Then endocytosis consists of two parts. It consists of two parts: phagocytosis and pinocytosis. So the materials which are in the solid form, they become the part of the body through phagocytosis. It means this is a process of cellular eating of the materials. And the substances which are in the form of liquids, they are entered through a process which is called pinocytosis. It means it is a process of cellular drinking. So this is the pathway in which all materials can enter in the body of the cell. It is very easy, it is very simple. Exocytosis means out, and cell, the material which can out from the body of the cell. And when the materials out from the body of the cell, at that time the cell membrane invaginate outward, and that materials out from the body of the cell, and this is called exocytosis. When there is endocytosis, at that time the cell membrane invaginate inward the site, and the materials enter the body of the cell. Endocytosis further divided into two parts: phagocytosis and pinocytosis, a process in which the particles are eaten which become the part or which give energy to the body of the cell in the form of ATP. That is called cellular eating, and this is called phagocytosis. And pinocytosis, it is a process in which only liquid materials can become the part of the body, and this is called cellular drinking. So this is the whole air passageway, passage of the molecules in which can enter in the body of the cell and out of the body of the cell. Thank you.